Hi, welcome to this video day. It's Tuesday, it's the 4th of December at 7 p.m. GMT. Just going to look at a few trade setups today. They all include the yen, and we'll go to the charts in a moment. Now, regular viewers will know over the last couple of months we've been very bullish of the yen, and some of the crosses we picked out, yen did really well. USD JPY though hadn't broken down, okay? Key resistance level of 114 level held, but the USD wouldn't gain any traction to the downside. It has today. Now, in terms of USD JPY, big move to the downside coming in our view. Also, the crosses still look very attractive. Now, in terms of, just for new viewers to our videos, when we do our technical analysis, we'll keep it very simple, okay? We're only going to focus on big levels that matter to key institutions in the markets. Now, to find those levels, we are going to be using our favourite tool in Forex trading, the COT, the Commitment of Traders Report. If you don't know what it is, you can click on a video link beneath this one and learn more about it. If you just want to watch the video through right now, just keep in mind what we want to do is always trade with smart money commercial hedgers when their positions diverge away from speculators. Now, go and look at the charts, but do keep in mind, it's my view, as of right now, it can change in line with the market conditions. If you want all our trading techniques, our technical and sentiment analysis of 14 major Forex pairs daily, you can get live access to our member center on the link beneath this video. Right, we'll start with USD JPY and the COT net traders positions first. Right, just on the COT net traders data very quickly before we go and draw some levels of entry, stop and target. And in terms of, just for new viewers, on the COT, when they do the data, it's always foreign currency first. So it's Japanese yen, USD. We of course trade USD JPY, but I'll reverse the chart around in a moment. This data is just to see what the commercials are doing, the smart money against the large speculators. Now over here, big divergence, commercials heavily long, spec short, big push off to the upside in favor of the commercials. Now here again, commercials heavily long, spec short, push off. We do come back to the level, but the commercials step up their buying, push it off, and they stepped up their buying again to push it off. Now this is the data obviously from Friday, and USD has gone down on the yen today. We'll see that on the daily chart when we get there in a moment. Now we know that the 88 level in JPY USD is equivalent to 114 in USD JPY. Now, in terms of our videos over the last few weeks, we've been saying, the 114 level, we expect it to hold, or expected it to hold, because it's held for well over a year actually, with the commercials always coming in to sell as specs come in to buy. Now we've moved away from the level now, and I think we are now possibly going to see a trend change in favour of the yen against the USD. So USD JPY to go down. Let's go and take a look at the daily chart and draw some levels of entry, stop and target. Right, on the daily chart of USD JPY. Now in this video I'm not going to cover the weekly chart, I'm just going to give you the levels on the downside, which are a long way off the bottom of this chart. I'm also not going to discuss the fundamentals. I did that in last week's video. We're just so bullish of the yen. If you want to know the fundamentals behind the chart as well, go and look at last week's video. Now in terms of here, I just want to focus on the levels, and in terms of just the way this chart has evolved, first of all, nice big strong move up here, a close above 114. We know the commercials defend this level, they push it straight back down again, sideways, then a kind of slower move up, or less aggressive move to 114. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles try and take the level out. We slip back, and then we come up again. This is when we did last week's video. It's kind of half-hearted, coming towards the 114 level, and again we come back. 2 small low volatility candles and a nice red today, okay, which is through the 113 level. Now, in terms of the key resistance level, you know it already, it's the 114 level. And we do not think that blue high will be exceeded. We see no close above 114. Now, there's a trajectory, okay. I think rallies should fade back to today's high. I can draw another line there, which is just below round number turbulence at 113.70. So it's body, 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 and a tail that's just poked through, and of course another body there. So that's where I think USD should meet resistance, but I don't see a close above 114 now. So in terms of if you were bearish, where would you want to sell? I've just see the low get taken out. So through 112.65. Where would the stop be? Needs to be back from 114. 114.60, I think. Good level, 114.40. You just want to be outside round number turbulence. So 30 pips back. If you don't know what that is, and you're new to our videos, you can just look at our video on round number trading. Okay. Now, where could we go to on the downside? Well, this cluster of candles here at 112 will be seen important by many people in the market, but we know the commercials are heavily short and the specs are heavily long. Okay, specs being heavily long, as we come down towards this level, that's where a lot of stops I think are clustered. Just push us straight through the level, and we will go first stop I think to 110. Okay, that's the first level we're looking for. Now, in terms of the weekly levels, 108, then 105. Obviously, if we got down to 105, it's nearly 800 pips from where we are now, and that's a longer term objective. Okay, so obviously you have to manage the trade each day, and follow our levels in the member center if you wish. Now, in terms of, I'm not ruling out another rally, but I think the risks are all to the downside now. Now, in terms of from our perspective, it's been a bit of a frustrating pair. Not much volatility, really. Historically, this pair is much more volatile. Our position, same as when I did the last video, 113.60. So we're at about 112.70, so 90 pips. So not really anything to get excited about yet, but I'm hoping that we should see a nice move to the downside. Now, behind my view of the chart here, obviously we've got the commercials on our side, but what I really like is what's happening in the bond market, okay, in terms of US interest rate perceptions, because that is just so bullish for the yen. Now, I'm not going to discuss it here because it take a little bit too long. You could read my notes if you wish in the member center tomorrow. We'll just look it up online in terms of what the yield curve going flat means. It's very bullish for the yen in my view. Right, now in terms of this one, we're hoping this is going to become a decent trade. I want to look at a few of the crosses we've looked at previously, which are doing quite nicely, far more profit potential to come, and one that I think could become a really good trade, which actually I did get stopped out of a little while ago, but I'm just so bearish of it. So the pairs we look at are going to be Euro JPY, which we looked at the weekend actually, CAD JPY, CHF JPY, and the one I think that could come good, NZD JPY. So let's go and take a look at them. In terms of the crosses, we're going to look at 4 of them, so I'm not going to basically draw them all. I'm just going to use the charts from our member center. I just need to make the screen a bit bigger so you'll be able to see the chart. So here we go, Euro JPY. Covered it at the weekend, okay? This has been a reasonable trend for us. We caught it, 132.50. Stopped out at 129.50, so 300 in. Now this is where I thought we'd do really well, and we didn't. Up to test the 130 level. Back in at 129.50 where we came out, Nice big red, and I just thought we would carry on to the downside. But look at that for choppy sideways action. But like we were saying at the weekend, the 129 level really having difficulty getting through. You want a nice red to take out the next round number, which has happened. So 128. So personally, I think she's a good sell. First target 125.50, but I'm being a bit ambitious here. I think there's another 950 pips on the downside on the weekly chart. So this has been a nice one, apart from this choppy sideways bit. From the fundamental point of view, there's nothing good happening in Eurozone for me, and the yen just extremely bullish makes this a good long-term trend change. I just have to make that smaller so I can find the menu. And now we're going to go and look at the other two crosses which we've been tracking, which are where they're here. Just going to make it bigger again, just to get the chart to a reasonable size. This one is a really long-term trade for us. It's CHF JPY, Swiss franc JPY. Really nice move down there, 117.60 to 113.65. We stopped ourselves out, came back in at 112.80. This very often happens. So back in at 112.80, but look, there she comes up. Gets above 114. Now back at 113. So on the second trade, we're 20 pips in the red. Not too worried about that, obviously. It's a really long-term trade, and you can see that I'm looking for a 109, then 102. So 1100 pips from where we are now. So if we slice out the 113 level, we should be off to the downside again. So I like to look at this as a long-term trade, certainly for fresh entries now. I think, the sort of corrective action is over. Right, where are we going next? CAD JPY. I like to look at this one long-term as well. 88.65. Where are we? We are at 85, okay? Again, a sort of nice move down, then a bit of correction. Just the way the markets have been recently, isn't it? But I think, fresh positions through 85, the low here. Got plenty of downside. This sort of 82.30 level, 81, and then 75. So longer term, 1,000 pips from where we are now. I do have quite ambitious targets, and obviously things do change, which I would stress, and obviously there are retracements in trends and so forth, so we do bank 50-50s or come out and come back in. But for me, this looks a great long-term trend. So these three crosses we've been tracking recently have done well. Hoping USD, losing my voice, sorry, USD JPY does well. Now I want to go to a pair that actually stopped me out for a loss. And I've just come back in, actually. Excuse me, my voice is going. Just find the menu. This one I think has got really good potential at long term with not a lot of risk, or in inverted commas, so to speak. And it's here. I'm not sure I covered this in a video or not, actually. I might have done. Here it is. Let me just bring it up to full size. It's our last pair we're going to look at. Right. Oh, it's not the USD ZAR, is it? Sorry, it's NZD JPY. This one, I was looking to sell her. Didn't think this would break here. She gaps higher and stops me out. Now, in terms of we will now sell at 78.30. We're in this one now. Let me have a look where it is. Well, she's at 78, okay? So just triggered. So I wanted to sell her as she come into the gap. Obviously, I'm a little bit early. Normally, I would wait a little bit longer to get through the round number. On this occasion, I'm just so bearish. And I've got my stop well back, 79.80, okay? So I'll go for 75, then chart low. So a long way to go in relation to my risk, but obviously that's, it's just my subjective view. Now, in terms of why I'm so bearish with this one, is the NZD is just overbought on every single major currency. It's also a proxy risk-on currency, just like the AUD is. So if you've got risk-on, tends to do well. Yen #1 risk-off, which we know. And we've got a little bit of nervousness in the stock market. So the fact the NZD is overbought anyway, we've got nervousness in the stock market. For me, unless stocks become really, really bullish and people get really optimistic, which I don't think is going to happen, I don't think the stock will get taken out. Now I've said that, it probably will. But seriously, I don't think so. If it does, it's fine. It's a good risk to reward. Just think there's a lot of downside on this one and not much upside. And in terms of the yen, it is, I've said it for a while, it's my favourite currency going forward longer term. And we've got big exposure to it. And the yen, just for me, we're coming to the end of the year now. It'll be the currency, in my view, that appreciates the most generally across the board in the new year. Just a lot of upside. But I've said that, haven't I? So, right, I think we'll finish the video there as I keep repeating myself. Anyway, thank you very much for watching me as usual. Take care. Have a good day.